Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. So we just threw up a video that goes into detail about how the owners have approved MLB's season proposal for a July start date for Major League Baseball. We hit on all the details there. And there's been a lot of players that have voiced their opinion on possibly coming back and playing this year. And one of them that was included in the Jeff Passan article on ESPN was Sean Doolittle. So I want to look at it because he brings up a lot of points, and we can talk about it in the comment section below. But Doolittle, veteran pitcher for the Nationals, really smart guy, played at University of Virginia, actually played against him. He was a stud. I was a junior when he was a freshman, I think, and he was a stud. He probably struck me out. I can't remember, but he probably did. He probably had a couple of homers, too. He was a two-way player there. But anyways, let's go over what he talks about here because he brings up some interesting points. And I also just like looking in the... I love looking and seeing people's comments to other people on Twitter. It is pretty funny. But, all right, let's get into it right now. All right, so here he is, Obi-Sean Kenobi Doolittle. He says, bear with me, but it feels like we've zoomed past the most important aspect of any MLB restart plan. Health protection for players, families, staff, stadium workers, and the workforce it would require to resume a season. Here are some things I'll be looking for in the proposal. Because this is a novel virus, there is still so much we do not know, including the long-term effects. On top of respiratory issues, there have been evidence of kidney, intestinal, and liver damage, as well as neurological malfunctions, blood clots, and strokes. COVID-19 patients often develop lung scarring or ground glass opacities. I wish I knew what that meant. These were found even in asymptomatic patients, and because the virus often affects both lungs, can cause permanent damage in some cases. Definitely a concern for an athlete. Research has shown COVID-19 may cause issues with male hormone ratios, even in younger men, which could lead to fertility complications. Not ideal. Extremely suboptimal. 0 stars. We know that sharing indoor spaces greatly increases the infection risk, and it's rare that only one person gets sick. Will there be modifications made to clubhouses or other facilities to prevent a spread? And we've learned that you release the most virus into your environment prior to symptoms even showing. So how frequently will we be testing to stay ahead of a potential spread and to mitigate as much risk as possible? Fauci spoke about conducting an NFL season and indicated a need for daily testing. Baseball players might not be in close contact during a game the way football players are, but there is a lot of shared space in a clubhouse among players, coaches, and staff. So how many tests do we need to safely play during a pandemic? And not just tests for players. Baseball requires a massive workforce besides the players, coaches, clubhouse staff, security, grounds crew, umpires, game day stadium staff, TV, and media. We need to protect everyone. And that's before we get the hotel workers and transportation workers, pilots, flight attendants, bus drivers. They are essential workers. We wouldn't be able to play a season without them, and they deserve the same protections. We need to consider what level of risk we're willing to assume. 80% of the cases are considered mild, but what if a player, a staff member, an auxiliary worker, or a family member gets a case that's in the 20%, and they develop severe symptoms or chronic issues? One feels like too many. There are a number of players and staff who have pre-existing conditions that they are aware of, and likely more who aren't. We need a plan that seriously considers the increased health concerns of any players, staff, or workers who are at higher risk. And even if mild cases can cause long-term health effects, will there be added healthcare benefits for players, staff, and workers that will extend beyond their employment and into retirement to mitigate the unknown risks of putting on a baseball season during a pandemic? We don't have a vaccine yet, and we don't really have any effective antiviral treatments. What happens if there is a second wave? Hopefully we can come up with both a proactive health plan focused on prevention and a reactive plan aimed at containment. Hopefully these concerns will be addressed in MLB's proposal. First and foremost, What's the plan to ethically acquire enough tests? What's the protocol if a player, staff member, or worker contracts the virus? We want to play, and we want everyone to stay safe. Sorry I had to get that out of my system. I'm going to turn my phone off now. Best of luck to my mentions. Stay safe. Keep washing your hands and wearing your masks. I hope we get to play baseball for you again soon. Okay, so I thought that was a very well thought out and articulated, well, a lot of posts right there. Pretty good thread. And I can't personally say I disagree with any of his thoughts. You know, I always think it's funny when you look at the comment section because you're going to have people that agree with him and then you're going to have a lot of people. The first couple comments are basically just bashing him, you know, telling him that there's other people working for far less money. Just get back to playing baseball. That's fine if you don't play, but just know that your job might not be there for you when you want to return, so it's up to you. But then again, with anything, you're going to get a little bit of both. There's a lot of people in there say, you know, don't apologize for caring about your teammates and your family and your staff and all that. So along with the money part of this and the revenue sharing, I think this could be a really tough part to get past as well, because I do think even if they decide to play, I think there's going to be, maybe not a lot of players, but I think there are going to be players that say, I'm not going to play this season. It's too risky for me and my family. And so you're going to have a shortened season. You might be missing players. You could be missing potential stars. There could be some stars that decide not to play as well. So it's going to be really interesting what happens here. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Share the video with all your friends. Give it a thumbs up. Thank you to our patrons on Patreon for supporting the channel. And if you like video games like MLB The Show 20, head over to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/AntonelliBaseball, where I'm streaming MLB The Show a couple of times a week. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you later.